Chapter 1001, Wasting Wood. From the forest came the constant sound of chopping wood, each strike echoing one after another. It has been more than 2 hours. How much wood does So Fong want to cut? No Tin Noyet turned her head toward the forest. Not sure, maybe he wants to build a big boat. Van Han replied casually. Beside her were piles of ropes made from hibiscus bark that Nan Ton Nok had gathered. A big boat, is he going to take everyone? Nan Nu Nok asked innocently. Impossible, we are 9 people. No Tin Noyet said calmly. She muttered, at this pace, can we start fishing today? Probably, if not then tomorrow morning. Van Han thought and answered. That is all we can do. No Tin Noyet sighed, playing with the bark in her hand, twisting it into a thick rope. Where are Tran Chi Hai and Black Bear? Nan Nu Nok looked around the beach but did not see them. Are they that hungry? Van Han muttered. Men who are full do not know the pain of hunger. No Tin Noyet said with feeling. What is that supposed to mean? Van Han laughed angrily. Rustle, rustle. What are you talking about? So Fong came carrying logs. The chopping sounds had already stopped. Nothing much, is the wood enough? Van Han quickly asked. It should be enough. So Fong put the log into the sea, clapped his hands and went back for more. By the time he finished, half a watch had passed. On the sand lay a pile of logs, each as thick as a girl's waist, weighing hundreds of pounds. So big, are you making an ark? No Tin Noyet asked. No, a raft. Lu Wai Mong said quickly. Yes, a raft. So Fong smiled gently. No Tin Noyet raised her brow, asked in disbelief, so much effort just for a raft? Is it effort? So Fong mused, just wasting some wood. Heavens! No Tin Noyet covered her face helplessly. Are we starting now? Van Han asked eagerly. No rush, let us rest, everyone is tired. So Fong looked up, the sun was high, about early afternoon. I cannot, my hand is still shaking. Lu Wai Mong shook her hand. Lu Wai Thursday also smiled bitterly, me too. I will cook lunch. Van Han stood up and went to prepare seafood. Lu Wai Mong looked at her palm and pitifully said, full of calluses and blisters. No matter, I wanted to go to sea anyway. She sighed, I will prick them with wood thorns. Just avoid water. So Fong advised. But I want to fish, I must touch water. She said stubbornly. With hands like that, still fishing? No Tin Noyet grabbed her hand to check. Not a big deal. She sighed, when we first arrived, my hands blistered many times, I got used to it. She remembered life in the bamboo forest, working even with bleeding hands. It will hurt a lot. No Tin Noyet whispered. It is fine. Lu Wai Mong said softly. Go rest, the sun is harsh. So Fong urged. I am not tired, I want to handle the wood, it will be quick. He took the axe and continued, carving holes to fix ropes. Wear your hat. Lu Wai Mong placed it on his head. With the hat, it was easier, he kept working, each hole 2 fingers deep. So Fong, drink water. Nan Ton Nok ran over with bamboo. Okay. He drank, cooling down. Soon the bamboo tube was empty. He wiped his mouth, smiled, if I drink too much, I will skip lunch. True. She nodded, rest, do not push too hard. I am fine, just restless. He smiled and left. Back at the shelter, the girls sat waiting. Lunch was seafood noodles, fish, lobster, oysters, seaweed. Eat? So Fong said, sipping hot soup. The girls started eating. Saved. Lu Wai Mong sighed. Were you very hungry? Van Han asked. She ate an oyster and said, after chopping wood I was starving. Eat more, there is plenty. Van Han encouraged. Chapter 1002, The Whirl, Impossible. After eating his fill, So Fong put on a wide-brimmed hat and prepared to continue building the raft. I will help you. Lu Waimong also wore a wide-brimmed hat and ran over. Me too. Nan Nu Nok came eagerly, with the others following behind, all wearing straw shoes, otherwise their feet would burn on the hot sand. Not afraid of the heat? So Fong turned back and asked. Not afraid. Lu Waimong lied with wide eyes. In her heart she wished she had a bow to shoot down the blazing sun. Dark spots mean health. Lu Wai Thursday said with disappointment. Her skin was already dark enough, a few more spots did not matter. Alright then, let us finish the raft early, before sunset we can still fish. So Fong smiled. Van Han asked gently, how will we do it? Simple, tie the logs together with ropes, wrap a few more times and it will be fine. So Fong answered calmly. All right. The women agreed, each grabbed a rope and got busy. This raft will be huge. Lam Lo exclaimed. This time So Fong cut 12 big trees, joined together into a raft big enough for 9 people to lie down comfortably. Since it must carry 9 people, of course it must be big. Lu Waimong said sweetly. If we ride the raft away, will we lose our qualification? Lu Wai Thursday whispered. Of course, the rule is to survive 1 year on Huin Noyet Island. Time and place are fixed conditions. No Tin Noyet explained. She paused then added, now we only go fishing, it is fine, but if we leave, it is not allowed. Understood. Lu Wai Thursday nodded. What if we row around the island once? Lu Waimong's eyes sparkled. What nonsense! Lu Wai Thursday tapped her sister's head, scolding with a smile. This is wild survival, not an adventure tale. Better give up, if we meet saltwater crocodiles it will be troublesome. Van Han said. Right, if we circle on the raft, by the time we finish such a grand act the contest will end, and we will all have turned black. No Tin Noyet joked. A raft has no roof to shield from the sun. After 2 months in the open, becoming white again would be impossible. Besides, we must eat, and on the raft we cannot cook, meaning every mealtime we must go ashore for firewood, checking the environment many times to ensure safety, far too troublesome. Nan Tan Nok analyzed. Lu Wai Thursday glanced at her sister, warning, also beware waves and reefs, and... Alright, I get it, I dropped the idea. Lu Waimong quickly raised her hand to stop, every reason made her retreat. I know. Lu Waimong said shyly. They all bent down again to tie ropes, 2 logs per group, then tied group to group, ropes wrapped like endless threads, showing how afraid they were the raft would fall apart. Tran Chi Hai and Black Bear returned. Seeing this they froze. Were they going to sea, leaving Huin Noyet Island, not fearing danger? What is this for? He asked instinctively. Tran Chi Hai's lips twitched, a familiar line. Do not disturb. Nan Tan Nok replied without looking up. I. Tran Chi Hai clenched his teeth, almost spitting blood. Van Han clapped and asked, all done, So Fong, can we launch it? The raft was finished, 10 logs linked side by side, 2 more fixed across the bottom sides, increasing buoyancy and stability. Yes, launch it. So Fong nodded, glanced at Tran Chi Hai and Black Bear, then calmly stepped down. Come, let us push it together. Lam Lo called. So Fong did not refuse, the raft was beyond his strength, he could not move it alone. Black Bear agreed for once, each log weighed 200 or 300 jin, with 12 logs the 10 people could push it to the sea. Lu Waimong laid hands on the raft, shouting, I count 1, 2, 3, then push. Good, you count. So Fong inhaled deeply, lowered his shoulders, pressed his hands on the raft. Nan Nu Nok said seriously, I am ready. Me too. Nan Tan Nok replied. 1, 2, 3, push. Lu Waimong cried. Push. So Fong roared, his muscles swelled like a beast awakening, driving all his strength to push the raft toward the sea. Push! The women shouted, faces red, exerting all strength. They think they can create a miracle. Tran Shi Hai mocked half a line, then choked, nearly biting his tongue. His eyes widened in disbelief as the raft slid slowly into the water. Black Bear froze for seconds, as if seeing the impossible. Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo hoo hoo. So tired, I have no strength left. No Tin Noyet gasped, words broken. Van Han's face flushed, though tired she was excited. We are amazing, we pushed the raft into the sea. Lu Waimong naively said, 80% of that was So Fong's effort. Not much different. So Fong smiled. All right, tidy up, prepare to go fishing. So Fong laughed heartily. Chapter 1003, Can Only Dote. He Xiong remained silent as always, though in his heart a question mark quietly appeared. Lu Waimeng and the group were loading the raft with sacks, fishing rods, a chopping axe, and even a sapper shovel. Why bring a sapper shovel? Lu Wai Thursday asked doubtfully. Of course to smash fish, this works far better than a fist. Lu Waimeng waved the shovel, imagining a strike knocking a big fish unconscious. Lu Wai Thursday twitched her lips, warning, you better tie it with a rope, if it falls into the sea you will fetch it yourself. Got it. Lu Waimeng pouted, hurried to find rope, also tying the chopping axe, not wanting to dive for iron sand again. So Fong, what about these bamboo baskets and the iron pot? Nan Tan Nok asked toward the hiding spot. Quite arrogant. Tran Shi Hai sneered with calculating eyes. True, whoever grabs it just gets an arrow straight to the heart. Lu Waimeng glanced at Tran Shi Hai and He Xiong. Damn it, I do nothing. Tran Shi Hai retorted. That is why you better stay put, or you will share Zhao Lei's fate. Lu Waimeng declared. Tran Shi Hai frowned, asking, what fate? Their elimination was related to you? Guess? Lu Waimeng had no interest in chatting further, never liking the Zhao brothers anyway. She placed the shovel on the raft, tied it firmly before feeling at ease. So Fong focused back on the raft, frowning deep in thought. Don't board yet, I will make paddles. He instructed, taking the axe, heading into the forest. Right, without paddles we can only drift. Lu Waimeng agreed. Soon So Fong found branches, chopped them straight, split planks, tied with rope, tested them sturdy, thus finishing the first paddle. He made more quickly thanks to woodworking skill. Hurry back, if slow it will be dark. Lu Waimeng urged. In truth it was just past 4, still 2 hours until dusk. Come aboard, test if the raft floats well. So Fong smiled, placed paddles, pushed the raft slightly outward so it would not scrape sand. He held it while the girls climbed up. Hehu Lu Waimeng pulled herself up, then offered her hand. Come, I will pull you. Thanks. Van Han took her hand, climbed up, followed by Nan Nu Nok and No Tin Noyet. All 8 girls got on. So Fong checked, relieved the logs were enough, the raft half submerged but safe unless big waves came. Good, set out. He climbed, 9 people could lie without feeling cramped. Hey Hugh, out to fish now. Lu Waimeng rowed cheerfully. You cannot row only one side, else it will spin. So Fong reminded. NK books. Then I will row the other side. Lin Lo eagerly took another paddle opposite, copying Lu Waimeng. 3 more paddles, I will help too. Nan Tan Nok said. So Fong, there are no sharks here, right? Van Han asked nervously. I don't know, but I never saw any underwater. He shook his head. No, you must not dive. Van Han insisted, this was a deserted island unlike beaches with shark nets. Alright, fine. So Fong nodded, though he thought even facing a shark he might repel it. Speaking of sharks, I recall the Jaws films, still a bit scary. Lu Waimeng shuddered, So Fong, do not go down. Ha, I also watched 1, 2, 3. I am better, watched 2-headed and 3-headed sharks. Don't you know there is now 7 sharks film? Really? I must catch up. Indeed, no nets here, plus seals nearby, maybe even killer whales. No Tin Noyet nodded, recalling documentaries of orcas hunting seals. Hopefully not unlucky. So Fong coughed, trusting his luck. No, you must obey. Lu Wai-meng urged. That is acceptable. Van Han smiled again, lightly once more. So Fong sighed with a helpless smile, he could only dote. Chapter 1004, You even say this shot is not allowed. The raft left the shallows and was nearly 100 meters from the beach. Tran Shi Hai tilted his head toward the makeshift hide, where several bamboo baskets sat, and stirred his curiosity. Hak Hung glanced at him and showed no reaction. He furrowed his brows, hesitated, then still strode toward the makeshift hide. Ah, are you going to shoot at my spot? Tran Shi Hai smiled awkwardly, for at this range ordinary bows hardly reach. She cannot do the 75-0, but I can. So Fong took a composite bow, drew a bamboo arrow, narrowed his eyes, steadied his hands, and loosed. Whoosh! Under the girl's amazed gazes, the bamboo shaft sliced the air and stuck beside Hak Hung's foot. None expected So Fong to truly act, and so thunderously. Nor did they expect the warning to be for both Tran Shi Hai and Hak Hung. Staring at the quivering fletching, Tran Shi Hai swallowed and stammered, he really dared to attack. Hak Hung's face worsened, the arrow lay less than 2 handspans from his toes, and by its depth in the sand it could pierce skin and muscle while barely harming bone since it was bamboo. Yet they did not have only bamboo arrows, they also had harder and sharper carbon fiber shafts. Awe and caution rose in him, for So Fong still shot so true amid sea wind and heavy humidity. At near 100 meters people looked blurry. Without a scope, how did he do that? Hey, who are you scaring? You even say this shot is not allowed. Tran Shi Hai tried to act calm, but his brow and palms were cold with sweat. Shut your mouth. Veins stood on his forehead as Hak Hung said coolly, you think he cannot hit? You think I cannot hit? So Fong smiled thinly, drew another bamboo arrow, and said coldly, step one more pace toward that hide and consider whether you still want your legs. Tran Shi Hai, do not gamble, So Fong's archery hits every time. No Tin Noyet warned, I have never seen him miss. He scowled, swallowed his displeasure at Hak Hung, and muttered that perfect archers do not exist, yet fear lingered, especially seeing Hak Hung enraged. Did you hear? Leave that spot now and drop your bad intentions. Lu Wai-meng barked coldly. Damn it. His face turned ugly. He finally snorted and turned away. Hak Hung glanced at the arrow by his foot, hesitated, left it, stared coldly at the people on the raft, and also withdrew. Humph, knew their hearts were not good. Lu Wai-meng huffed, and only then lowered bow and arrow. Lucky we have So Fong, or our goods would be stolen. Van Han exhaled, for the baskets held salted meat and spices, and most important of all was cooking oil. Can we fish? Lam Lo blinked and asked. Yes. The girls lowered oars, set rods, baited hooks, and prepared to fish. There were 5 rods, 1 each for So Fong, Van Han, Lu Wai-meng, Nantan Nok, and Lam Lo. Be careful everyone, do not fall overboard. So Fong reminded. Got it. They answered together. 9 people with 4 rods spread to the 4 sides of the raft. Let us compete and see who hooks first, chimed Lu Wai-meng, clearly the mood maker. Quiet, fishing is not for noise. Lu Wai Thursday said helplessly. Competition makes it fun. Lu Wai-meng replied guileless. Fine, the first to catch may make others perform a program tonight. Lam Lo proposed. Great idea, settled. Lu Wai-meng hurried to decide the forfeit. Lu Wai Thursday pressed her lips and said firmly, I have a feeling you will be the one performing. No way. She pouted, then cast, the baited hook plopping into the sea. This time the gap between float and hook exceeded 10 meters, and the float looked smaller. Remember, when a fish bites, do not yank, mind the retrieve, this time you cannot just heave. So Fong coached. Understood, the girls replied. He nodded and cast. More than 10 meters of line sank, leaving only the float on the surface. So excited, what will we catch? Van Han sat. Rubbed her hands, eyes shining. Bluefin tuna from Cieli, bluefin tuna from Cieli, chanted Lu Waimong. That made her elder sister's eye twitch, yet she endured the hot-headedness a bit longer. Whoosh! He looked toward the beach to judge their position. So Fong, the raft seems to have drifted farther out. Van Han whispered. It is fine, he soothed, for the raft had floated well beyond the prior stop, from about 100 meters off to over 120 or 30. Hope no waves will rise, she still worried. She smiled gratefully and fixed on her float again. There is wind today, but not strong, waves will not form. He studied the sky, the clouds moved steadily with no sign of gusts or change. Good then. Van Han answered softly. Chapter 1005, In Rhythm. The wind was calm, the waves quiet, the float lay still. Where are the fish, why are they not biting? Lu Waimong pouted, her hands numb from holding the rod. Let me try. Lu Wai Thursday took the rod from her sister. Why are there still no fish biting? Lam Lo grumbled, half an hour had passed, everything remained quiet. Yes, where are the fish? No Tin Noyet squatted, propping her chin with her hand, looking bored. The sun was leaning west, less than 1 hour left before setting, the weather was just right, neither dry nor hot. So Fong spoke calmly, it will come, do not rush. It is getting dark, but no fish bite. Nan Nu Nok murmured. So Fong forced a smile, he could not jump into the sea to grab fish himself. Maybe the bait is gone? Van Han suddenly said. Maybe, should we pull it up to check? Lu Waimong tilted her head. Yes, check it. So Fong was not sure, he began reeling slowly, pulling the hook out of the water. As expected, the bait is eaten clean. Lu Waimong cried, the bait on the hook had disappeared. Van Han sighed, perhaps the small fish nibbled bit by bit, slowly invading, in the end the bait was gone without biting. Yes, that is most likely. So Fong was helpless, every hook came up empty, others the same. Do we have more bait? Lu Waimong asked. Then use salted meat, surely some fish like it. So Fong said softly. All right. Nan Nu Nok answered, cutting salted meat into pieces with a chopping knife. Lu Waimong hooked the meat, muttering, this meat is too hard, small fish cannot nibble anymore. Good. The girls answered, the hooks were cast again, sinking slowly. Fish, hurry bite, tonight I will give you a hot bath. No Tin Noyet hummed softly. So Fong teased, if I were a fish, hearing this song, I would not bite either. Nonsense, it sounds nice, and a hot bath is so good. No Tin Noyet covered her mouth, laughing quietly, afraid the fish would flee. Duong. So Fong's float suddenly sank, he grew tense, Taviden also held breath. Van Han's eyes lit up, she whispered, so Fong, it bit. I know, do not rush. So Fong nodded, watching the float shake, he did not pull yet. Not pulling? Lu Waimong stepped closer, wanting to take the rod. Wait, it has not bitten deep. So Fong stayed calm, the float only swayed lightly, not the time yet. I am even more anxious. No Tin Noyet also came, afraid to speak loud. Duong. The float suddenly sank, the line stretched tight. Pull now? Nan Nu Nok asked. Wait. So Fong shook his head, he feared the line, rod, or hook might break, then the big fish would be lost. Will the line snap? Van Han grew nervous, the rod bent more, creaking. No Tin Noyet muttered, hope the line holds, tonight's dinner depends on you. Nan Ton Nok hesitated, then reeled in her line and came closer. Nothing caught. Lu Wai Thursday also pulled her hook back. You caught nothing either? Lam Lo looked at her rod, then at So Fong's, and gave up, she reeled in too, knowing she lacked his strange strength. You all crowd here, the raft lost balance. So Fong laughed bitterly. Sorry. Lamlo quickly moved to the east side of the raft to balance. The Nan sisters also moved, keeping the raft stable. One more moved over. So Fong lowered his head, the seawater soaked his legs. I will go east. Lu Wai Thursday also moved. Tai Vai Din silently retreated, restoring balance. So Fong breathed out. He dared not pull too hard, afraid to break the line or rod, losing everything. The raft shifted, not much, but truly moved. The line and rod tilted, meaning the fish was swimming toward open sea. Row the boat toward the sandbank. So Fong ordered. Yes. The girls hurried, rowing with all their strength. 1, 2, 3, row. 1, 2, 3, row. Lu Waimong shouted, follow my rhythm, keep in step. One had to admire this handmade line, though stretched tightly, it showed no sign of breaking. So Fong's line was not thin, thicker than professional lines, braided from bark and vines, its durability beyond imagination. Creak. The rod bent, creaking sound continued. So Fong's face remained calm, reeling steadily, 2 turns in, 1 turn out, slow but firm. Time passed, the raft neared the sandbank, from over 100 meters down to 70 or 80. Finally it is tired? So Fong's lips curved, reeling faster. So Fong, do we continue rowing? Lu Waimong asked. So Fong raised his head, saw the distance, and replied, continue. All right. Lu Waimong bit her lip, rowing again. Chapter 1006, The Silly Sweet Princess. Has the fish stopped resisting? Van Han asked curiously. It must be exhausted. So Fong replied softly, the sun had already set, and darkness was falling. Splash! A golden tail rose above the water then quickly sank. Wow, such a huge fish! Lin Lo shouted in shock, it was her first time seeing such a giant fish in reality. The tail is golden, so it is not a California tuna. Lu Waimong said with a bit of disappointment. Who says it is not a California tuna? So Fong smiled, handing the rod to Lu Waimong, instructing, hold tight, do not let go. Hey, my strength is not as great as yours. Lu Waimong turned pale but still gripped the rod tightly. Let me help you. Van Han reached out. Me too. No Tin Noyet grabbed the lower part of the rod, sitting on the raft, letting the seawater soak her clothes. So Fong, are you going to dive in? Before Van Han finished, So Fong had already leapt into the sea, heading for the giant fish. She cried anxiously, be careful. So Fong stayed focused, releasing his dominating aura to suppress the fish, making it slow down and lose its strength. Not bad, it is huge. A smile appeared on his face. It was a California yellowfin tuna, more than 2 meters long, back blue, belly silver, striped with 20 vertical lines, fins orange, the largest reaching 3 meters, weighing over 200 kilograms. Yellowfin tuna were torpedo-shaped, fast in water, with no predators except humans. Do not try to escape, I spent much time and energy to catch you. So Fong gripped the fin, maintaining his aura, kicking to drag the fish toward the raft. Looks like a bluefin tuna, but the color is different. Van Han whispered. This is a yellowfin tuna, also a California tuna. So Fong explained casually. So Fong, let me help. No Tin Noyet grabbed another fin and pulled with all her strength. So heavy. Lu Waimong muttered, the group had to use all their strength to haul the tuna aboard. In the water, So Fong could not exert full strength, losing much power. Splash! So Fong flipped onto the raft, dragging the tuna into the center. Such a beautiful fish, it must be delicious too. Lu Waimong smiled, poking its belly. Enough for us to eat for several days. Van Han said sweetly, circling it. Okay. The girls responded, reluctantly turning away and rowing again. On the shore, Tran Shi Hai and Hak Hung returned and were stunned. So huge. Tran Shi Hai was dumbfounded, not expecting So Fong to catch such a massive fish. Hak Hung's face twitched. Since when were yellowfin tuna so easy to catch without special gear? Tran Shi Hai gaped, watching the raft approach the beach. Do not mess up. Hak Hung warned. Huff. Hak Hung pursed his lips, thinking, if you are not silly, then who is? All those foolish decisions before, were they not yours? Should we also go fishing? Tran Shi Hai suggested. But Tran Shi Hai hesitated, the gear seemed absent. He said angrily, I do not care, you must think of something. I am not a god, I cannot conjure tools. Hak Hung's face darkened. Then why can they? Tran Shi Hai pointed at So Fong. Do you not want to ask? He hinted softly. Hak Hung fell silent, holding back an urge to slap him, coldly said, living on the island too long, have you become dumb? How dare you talk to me like that? I am your master. Tran Shi Hai's face turned cold. My duty is to protect your safety, not be your nanny. Hak Hung said coldly, we are rivals, why would he teach you fishing? Sounds reasonable. Tran Shi Hai pouted, then added, then let us cooperate with So Fong, would that work? How to know without trying? We can handle hard labor, while his group are women, their strength is limited. Tran Shi Hai grew excited, like clinging to hope. Hak Hung swallowed, unwilling to speak his mind. I think it might work, let me think it through. Tran Shi Hai held his chin, frowning in thought, then smiled. He asked, what do you think? Like when we dealt with the Zhao brothers, it should succeed. Right? I do not know. Hak Hung looked at him, as if watching a silly sweet princess. Chapter 1007, Solace. Come on. Yun Han also shouted. The girls worked together to push the raft onto the sandy shore, making sure it would not be swept away. Good, good. The raft slowly moved up, though part of it still soaked in water, at least it was safe. All right. Lu Yimon, exhausted, sat on the sand leaning against the raft. So dirty. Lu Yizhua grumbled angrily. Lu Yimeng looked down at her messy clothes, waved her hand and said casually, it is fine, we will bathe tonight anyway. Filthy. Lu Yizhua glared. Lin Luo looked at the yellowfin tuna on the raft and asked curiously, can we eat sashimi tonight? Of course, we can have raw fish, then soup, and also grilled fish. Yun Han said cheerfully, already imagining the dishes. Gulp. Not far away, Chen Ziyi swallowed hard. Let us clean the fish now before it gets dark. Yan Xingyu clapped her sandy hands and took out her knife. Yes, by the stream. Yun Han replied innocently. Lu Yiming quickly got up, then ran back to grab the iron pot, clay jar, and bamboo basket. Ji Whiting stayed to stoke the fire. I will check too. Lin Luo stood up and walked toward the stream. Twilight fell, firelight flickered on the sand, the sea wind blew, the flames swayed. Is the weather changing? Wu Tingyue sat by the fire, the wind hitting her face. Probably not, Safyong said it is only wind. Lu Yizhua whispered. Wu Tingyue waved away the smoke, coughed, and said, the wind is small, yet it blows sparks and smoke straight inside. She stood up, found a shovel, and started piling sand into a wall a meter from the fire. Looks fun. She joined in, unwilling to eat sashimi full of ashes. We are back, what are you doing? Lu Yiming carried a pot full of fish heads. Building a wind wall. Lu Yizhua replied casually. Great, I will cook fish head soup. Lu Yiming smiled, more interested in cooking than walls. Where are Safyong and Yun Han? Wu Tingyue asked. Still cutting fish, almost done, Xiaohan told me to start soup first. Lu Yiming said brightly, then split the fish heads into the clay jar, planning 2 pots of soup. She grinned, hold on, soon we can eat raw fish. Not bad. Wu Tingyue laughed, feeling motivated.
Hiss.
NK Books. Lu Yiming set the pots on the fire, added water, ginger, and cinnamon bark, then covered them. Ji Whiting nodded knowingly. Be careful. Lu Yizhua reminded. I know, it is close. Lu Yimong waved. High enough? Wu Tingyue patted her hands. The sand wall stood half a meter tall. Seems fine, pile more on both sides. Lu Yizhua whispered. Alright, you take that side, I take this. Wu Tingyue replied, adding more sand. Clatter. The pots boiled, soup spilled over. Ji Whiting quickly lifted the lid to prevent waste. No need to salt? Lu Yizhua wondered, thinking sea fish were already salty. Of course add it. Wu Tingyue laughed. Did the sashimi taste salty? Not really. Lu Yizhua thought, remembering soy sauce and mustard balanced the flavor. How much salt? Ji Whiting held a ladle of salt. Stop, that is too much. Wu Tingyue warned, it would need double water. Half then? Ji Whiting shook half back. Still too much, have again. Wu Tingyue sighed. Is soup ready? Lu Yiming returned happily, with Safyong and others carrying fish slices. Just boiled, deciding on salt. Wu Tingyue answered. Add a little, not too much. Yun Han said. Ji Whiting pursed her lips, relieved to sit down. Cooking was not her strength. Can we eat sashimi now? Wu Tingyue clapped, eyes eager on the fresh fish. Yes, Safyong prepared it already. Yun Han smiled and placed the platter by the fire. I will get mustard. She searched the basket. Then I wait, sashimi without mustard has no soul. Wu Tingyue restrained herself. I wonder how this tuna tastes. Lu Yizhua rubbed her stomach, it was protesting. Chapter 1008, What Negotiation? Eat some slices of raw fish first, then drink some fish soup, the grilled fish still needs time. Van Han gently said, placing the prepared Utrima Tenya seasoning on the stone. I will not be polite, I am starving already. No Tin Noyet picked up chopsticks, dipped a slice of raw fish into the sauce, covered her mouth, and swallowed it. Isn't it spicy? Lam Lo asked with surprise. Cough cough, it is fine. No Tin Noyet blinked her big eyes and said with satisfaction. So delicious, this is the freshest raw fish I have ever tasted. I will try too. Lam Lo picked up a slice of raw fish and tasted it. Her beautiful eyes widened in shock. So fresh, it melts in my mouth. Delicious indeed, but bluefin tuna from Cali tastes better. Lu Waimong nodded. Even if it is not as good as bluefin tuna, it is still Cali tuna. Lu Waimong said while her chopsticks still held a piece of raw fish. Not much difference actually. Van Han swallowed, she could not clearly remember the taste of Cali bluefin tuna. Yes, slightly different, but all tasty. Nan Nu Nok narrowed her eyes to savor the harvest of today. This was her second time eating raw fish, the first was Cali bluefin tuna, when she first met So Fong and the girl. Clatter clatter. Tran Shi Hai glanced at the iron pot with seaweed and oysters, losing his appetite. He glanced at Hak Hung angrily. You can still eat? Why not? Hak Hung frowned. Don't you feel ashamed? Tran Shi Hai lowered his voice. It is fine. Hak Hung curled his lips, it was jealousy, and Tran Shi Hai was obviously envious of So Fong's group. He rolled his eyes and whispered. Later go with me to talk about cooperation. Hak Hung hesitated, his face showing reluctance. If you want to eat well and drink fully, you must lower your pride. Tran Shi Hai sneered. We are just cooperating, nothing to lose. Hak Hung closed his eyes, then opened them, suppressing anger. When cooperation starts, we will find a way to take the lead, then we will have hope to win the match. Tran Shi Hai said eagerly. The viewers filled the chat. Chicken, you dream too much. Haha, talk more, I will help you plan. Nice imagination, cruel reality, so Fong will let you know what is delusion. Is Tran Chi Hai still asleep? Does he need a candle? Haha, only feel embarrassed for Hak Hung. It is ready. The aroma spread, the girl turned the fish, grilled until golden, then added salt, oil, wild herbs, perilla, mushrooms, fungus, seaweed. So fragrant, I want to save space for grilled fish. Lu Waimong put down chopsticks, eyes full of expectation. Grilled fish needs more time, drink fish soup first. Van Han said. Yes, the taste is perfect. So Fong finished the soup, feeling warm. The soup is fresh. Lam Lo was surprised. If there were tofu, it would be even better. Van Han regretted. It is already very good. Lam Lo gave a thumbs up. Will the remaining fish be smoked? Nan Nu Nok looked at the basket. Yes, we must smoke it, or it will spoil. Van Han replied. So Fong said softly. Save some for breakfast tomorrow, the rest smoke it. Right, will we fish again tomorrow? Lu Waimong asked happily. So Fong shook his head, looking at the sky. No, tomorrow morning return to camp, there will be heavy rain. Really? The girls were surprised. Of course, my weather forecast never fails. So Fong smiled confidently. Seems very accurate. Van Han encouraged. It will. So Fong laughed, thinking of being soaked by rain. Next time, there will be chances. He smiled. So tonight do we have a performance? NK Books. Lu Waimong asked with a bit of grievance. Haha, I almost forgot. So Fong laughed. The girls all looked at her. Cough cough, is the grilled fish done? Lu Waimong cleared her throat to change topic. Van Han pouted. Almost ready, do not rush. So Fong laughed loudly. Ha, do not worry, I will not make it hard for you. You said it, a gentleman never breaks his word. Lam Lo warned. No Tin Noi yet teased. Better be singing, not fist. Swallowing, I do not have Thursday's skill. Lu Wai Thursday blushed, regretting her fist swallowing performance. Tap tap tap. So, what to discuss? Tran Chi Hai approached. Hak Hung's face darkened, reluctantly following behind. Chapter 1009, Dare to Fight Alone? The group of Lu Waimong kept calm faces, yet their gazes all fell on one man. So Fong curled his lips slightly, saying nothing. What is it? Did you not hear clearly? Tran Chi Hai took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. Just speak. So Fong opened his mouth, his face calm as ever. Tran Chi Hai suddenly lost his words, the courage he had built up disappeared before So Fong. His heart pounded, he bit his lip and said firmly, I said, we could cooperate a little. Not interested. So Fong refused at once, with not a trace of interest. We could cooperate and exchange, what did you say? Tran Chi Hai wanted to explain the benefits, 560s, but did not expect So Fong to refuse outright, forcing his words back down his throat. So Fong said he is not interested, do you not understand? Do you want me to repeat it again? Lu Waimong sneered, her eyes on Tran Chi Hai as if he were a fool. No, you did not hear my terms yet, how could you refuse so fast? Tran Chi Hai blurted. No condition is of interest. Lu Waimong answered in So Fong's stead. Tran Chi Hai's eyes turned cold as he said flatly, men are speaking, what is a girl doing interrupting? You despise women? Lu Waimong widened her eyes, rolled up her sleeves and shouted, sisters, did you hear? He despises women. Tran Chi Hai, words bring disaster, you should know that truth. No Tin Noyet narrowed her eyes, wishing she could kick him. Calm down, for the image we must endure. Lam Lo reminded softly. Humph, what right do you have to look down on us? Van Han stood with hands on her hips, her face cold. Nantan Nok asked sharply, yes, in what way are you better than us? In strength or intelligence? No, that is not my meaning. Tran Shi Hai panicked, rushing to explain. Black Bear only sighed silently, feeling the future hopeless. Right, you blockhead, daring to look down on us. Nan Nu Nok yelled. No, I said I did not mean that, you misunderstood me. Cold sweat broke out on Tran Shi Hai's forehead, his eyes turned to Black Bear, who only stared at the sky. What are you afraid of? I only meant I would not fight women. Tran Shi Hai explained awkwardly. Ha, is that not still looking down on us? Lu Waimong glared, angrily saying, then let So Fong fight you alone, he will even use one hand. So Fong could only smile bitterly inside. Do not always resort to fighting, we are civilized people. Tran Shi Hai pleaded. Civilized? What words of yours were civilized just now? Lam Lo pouted and muttered. That was a slip, I explained already, please do not misunderstand. Cold sweat soaked Tran Shi Hai's palms, to face So Fong in battle was impossible, just standing before him felt like a mountain pressing down, let alone fighting. Lu Waimong pouted, as if I would believe you. So Fong said calmly, go, I am not interested in cooperation. You seem deceitful, your words lack sincerity. So Fong's eyes turned cold, falsehoods could not hide before him. I think so too. Lu Waimong nodded in agreement. Me too. Same here. Yes, it feels false. Their voices echoed, each one making Tran Shi Hai more ashamed. Black Bear quietly stepped back. Tran Shi Hai suppressed his anger, forced a smile. No, I am sincere. Then tell me, what are the benefits of cooperation? So Fong curled his lips, it was also a way to pass the time. The grilled fish is ready, taste it first. Van Han lifted the pot lid, picked a piece of fish, blew on it, and carefully brought it to So Fong's lips. I want to eat too. Lu Waimong turned to grab chopsticks. Clunk. Tran Shi Hai swallowed hard, his eyes fixed greedily on the grilled fish, itching to snatch it. Speak. So Fong's voice pulled him back. Cough cough, though you are many, most are women, many tasks you cannot do, but we can. Tran Shi Hai coughed, pointing at himself and Black Bear. So you mean, your strength is very great? Lu Wai Thursday looked him up and down, his thin frame like a bamboo stick, how strong could he be? PFF. Lu. Waimong burst out laughing. Barely a specialty, what else? So Fong waved his hand and asked. Is that not enough? Tran Shi Hai frowned. So Fong was stunned, asked, so you mean, there is none? Tran Shi Hai froze, then admitted helplessly, none. Then fine, Waimong, show him a shoulder throw. So Fong clapped his hands, intending to go back to his fish. At once. Lu Waimong excitedly put down her chopsticks, swallowed her fish and smiled as she moved toward Tran Shi Hai. Do not worry, it is all sand here, throwing will not hurt. Lu Waimong soothed. Black Bear's face changed, he wanted to rush to rescue. Do not rush. So Fong placed his hand on his shoulder, blocking him easily. Let go. Black Bear's voice was cold. Is that an order? NK Are you a discharged soldier? It must be, you do not feel the same as that skinny bamboo. So Fong guessed, then affirmed. Black Bear's pupils shrank, shocked at So Fong's perception. Do not worry, he will not be hurt, just as Waimong said, it is all sand here, falling will not harm. So Fong smiled, whoever has great strength should prove it in practice, should they not? Chapter 10:10, Pretending to be hit? Scared? Lu Waimong's lips curved, in others' eyes it looked like a demon smiling. Step aside. Black Bear said coldly. So Fong shook his head, voice calm, no negotiation. Very polite. So Fong calmly commented, then sidestepped the fist and countered with a punch, his fist landing on Black Bear's stomach, making him curl like a boiled shrimp. Black Bear broke into cold sweat, clutching his belly, barely standing, shocked that he could not block even one punch. Was his body too weak? Can't even take one punch? Nan Nunok's lips parted slightly, face full of shock. Strong. Tabai Dinah's eyes shone, gazing at So Fong with fiery admiration, wishing to chain him to learn martial arts all day. So Fong gently said, "Don't worry, his organs should not be damaged." Black Bear, fight back? Tran Shi Hai shouted in panic. Fight back your nonsense. Lu Waimong rolled her eyes, striding toward him. She grabbed his shoulder with one hand, his wrist with the other, and flipped him firmly over her shoulder. Bang! Dust rose, Tran Shi Hai lay flat on the sand, eyes full of disbelief. Hey, stop playing dead, are you pretending to be hit? Lu Waimong nudged his leg with her toe, eyes saying she would not be fooled. Now you know women are fierce? Nan Nunok said innocently. Don't underestimate women, Sister Mon and Sister Bai Din can defeat you in minutes. Lu Waimong threatened, leave quickly, or I will throw you on a raft and let the current carry you away. Tran Shi Hai came to his senses, face filled with shame and anger. Your body is too weak, better withdraw and seek treatment. So Fong reminded. Oof. Tran Shi Hai snorted, glaring at So Fong with hatred, dusting off his back and walking away. Black Bear gave So Fong a deep unwilling glance before leaving. Peaceful now. Van Han breathed out. So Fong, do you want more? Van Han held a clay bowl full of grilled fish, it was saved for him. You eat, I am full with just some fish soup. So Fong said softly. Not eating grilled fish? Van Han frowned. Maybe a little more? So Fong smiled. Here. Van Han laughed, offering fish to his lips. The group turned away, thinking even dogs would refuse such food. Enough, I am really full. So Fong held her hand, turned the chopsticks, and fed her the fish. So sweet. Van Han smiled tenderly. No Tin Noyet asked, so, what is the punishment tonight? I haven't decided yet. So Fong replied gently. As long as not singing. No Tin Noyet suggested. Something fresh. Lam Lo added. No Tin Noyet narrowed her eyes at her, don't forget, you must perform too. Me? Really? Lam Lo froze. Of course, everyone must, we are a team. Lu Waimong declared. Yes, a team, so everyone shares the punishment. Nan Nunok said seriously. Spare me, I only know makeup, nothing else. Lam Lo pouted pitifully at So Fong. Come on, you are skilled in the entertainment world. No Tin Noyet sneered. Stop rolling your eyes, care about your public image. Lam Lo scolded. I am just real. No Tin Noyet turned to the drone camera with a bright smile. Haters won't care if you are real. Lam Lo muttered. Yes, the star is always right. Lam Lo laughed angrily, but admitted she was right, people should live for themselves at least once. Ahem, back to the topic. Lu Waimong reminded. So, what show to perform? Lam Lo sighed, but her heart warmed, she liked the spirit of unity. I have no idea. Nantan Not pursed her lips. Singing is old, dancing no one knows, how about storytelling? Anyone? Lu Wai Thursday counted fingers. No. The girls answered in chorus. Lu Wai Thursday shut her mouth, since she did not know either. Good idea. The girls cheered together. So Fong smiled helplessly, as long as you are happy. Then next time, after eating we shouldn't move much. Lam Lo set down her chopsticks, sipping fish. Soup. Eat that much and you'll get fat. No Tin Noyet teased. No matter, I'll slim down later, it's wasteful not to enjoy good food. Lam Lo waved it off, she was not a star, just a manager, assistant, nanny, and driver, so no need to care much about image. Fat is hard to lose, men won't like it. No tin no yet teased. Lamlo glared at her, vowed, relax, as long as I work for you, I'll be skinny without Jim. Not that exaggerated. No tin no yet laughed shyly. Chapter 10:11, Salted Fish. It feels a bit cool. Van Han pulled her clothes tight. Even though the day was hot, mornings and nights on the island were still chilly. Tonight everyone wore sleeping clothes. So Fong instructed. All right. The girls answered together. I want to bathe. Van Han whispered. After sweating and being exposed to sun and wind all day, her body now felt uncomfortable. I want to. Lu Waimong quickly raised her hand. Me too. Nan Nu Nok pulled her sister's hand and sniffed, smelling a faint fishy scent. Bathing was needed. Me. That was Tay Vi Din. Then I also should wash a bit. Lu Wai Thursday spoke softly. The girls all voiced, no one disliked being clean, bathing before sleep was more comfortable. Lu Waimong held her sister and cousin's hands, cheerfully said, then I go with Van Han, elder sister, and sister Trao. Yes, let's go. So Fong took a torch, a bow and a chopping knife, leading the way to the stream. Wait, I must get towels and clothes. Van Han shouted, hurriedly searching in the bamboo basket. We are the second group. No Tin Noyet calmly sat down, drawing on the sand with a branch. First she drew a flower, then turned into chibi figures, tiny So Fong and the girls. Ah, the drawing is vivid. Nan Nu Nok praised. The chibi So Fong was obvious, the only male. The cold face was Tay Vi Din, the short-haired cute girl was herself, another short-haired bright face was Lu Waimong, the gentle and calm one was Lu Wai Thursday, the lively one was Van Han. Indeed, when I was a child, I was the top in drawing. No Tin Noyet proudly said. No Tin Noyet smiled sweetly, of course, I draw and sing both very well. Nan Nu Nok curiously asked, then why later did you choose singing? Because I am beautiful, singing shows my beauty. No Tin Noyet touched her hair, face serious but joking. So that's it. Nan Nu Nok nodded. Tay Vi Din pressed her lips. Nan Nu Nok blushed, realizing stars could be this approachable. Tin Noyet, do you truly plan to stay on this island until the contest ends? Lam Lo suddenly asked. Yes, is there a problem? No Tin Noyet replied without turning. Lam Lo glanced at the drone, whispered, this way is not good, you will miss many chances and resources. Yes, you are right. Thinking of the online crowd, Lam Lo relaxed, it was like giving herself a holiday, wages still counted. Since we are here, no need to always think of work, relax a bit. No Tin Noyet patted Sister Trao's shoulder, like an experienced person. You are used to being a salted fish. Lam Lo forced a smile. Being salted fish is good. No Tin Noyet covered her mouth and laughed. Truly without ambition. Lam Lo helplessly shook her head, but if No Tin Noyet worked hard, she might collapse. More than 20 minutes later, So Fong and the others returned, their wet hair dripping as they sat by the fire. It was refreshing, only the water was a bit cold. Van Han gently said, pulling hair forward, combing with a wooden comb. Now our turn to wash. No Tin Noyet took the towel and stood up. Do not run randomly, call if needed. So Fong reminded, then led No Tin Noyet, Tay Vi Din and the Nan sisters to the stream. Damn, all damn. Tran Shi Hai gnashed his teeth, his heart full of hatred. Black Bear leaned on a rock, pain in belly eased, at first he feared inner bleeding, but pain reducing calmed him, at least not that. How can you be so weak, cannot even take one move? Tran Shi Hai shouted angrily, glaring at Black Bear. Black Bear's face turned cold, voice icy, you dare scold me? I was careless, that woman struck while I was distracted, if you were not injured I would not be distracted. Tran Shi Hai grew more furious. So you want another fight? Black Bear asked coldly, shall I deliver the message? Tran Shi Hai looked uneasy, eyes shifting, I do not want to fuss with a woman. Humph. Black Bear snorted coldly. Then why you cannot even block So Fong's move? Tran Chi Hai asked. That means you are useless. Tran Chi Hai sneered. Black Bear stayed silent. Against So Fong he was powerless, but striking the master would be easier. He was pondering action. Are you all right? Tran Chi Hai changed subject, fearing his anger and withdrawal from contest would be worse. No need for internal fight, better think how to find food. Tran Chi Hai felt the champion drifting away, especially after being defeated by Lu Waimong. He thought top 3 already taken by So Fong's group. Black Bear's eyelids twitched. He had no mood to even open eyes. No, I cannot accept, I must be in top 3. Tran Chi Hai clenched teeth, staring at the distant firelight, mind calculating. Yes, I must be too. Black Bear lifted his eyes, meeting Tran Chi Hai's red ones, in heart raising a white flag. Chapter 10-12, like the end of the world. Ah. Su Fong woke up, sat dazed for a moment, then gave a command in his mind, mark. The familiar simulated screen appeared, showing 3 days glowing. A new day had begun. Yun Han, get up. Su Fong looked at the sky and decided to call her. Mum. The girl pouted, rolled over, and after less than half a minute sat up still sleepy. Be good, if you are tired go back to sleep, it is not early. His voice was gentle. He smiled, then turned to wake the others. This day looks like the end of the world. Wu Qingyue stared at the dark sky, feeling pressed. Yes, it feels like the sky will collapse. Nan Ruyu spoke nervously. Lu Yumeng tiredly curled her lips and joked, no problem, even if it collapses there are 913 Su Fongs to hold it up. All right. Lu Yumeng was cheerful, smiling on her way to wash. Lu Yuju shook her head helplessly, her sister could not be saved. After more than 10 minutes, the girls returned washed, and Yun Han was already cooking breakfast. Today's breakfast was fish meat soup with mushrooms, wild greens, and seaweed. Who will gather the smoked fish? Su Fong said. Remove the hooks and lines, leave the rods. He looked at the raft. All right. The Nan sisters answered, knives in hand. Su Fong, will the raft not be washed away? Lin Luo worried, not about tide but heavy rain and waves. Press some rocks on it. He thought then said. He walked to a pile of stones, lifted one as tall as a man, stepped heavily to the raft, and placed it on. So abnormal. NK Books. Lin Luo opened her mouth, a bit excited, muttering, a man like this is thrilling. No, nothing. Lin Luo lowered her head. Bang. Su Fong moved 7 or 8 big rocks onto the raft, heavier than the raft itself. Bang bang bang. This should do. He clapped, breath steady, the raft unmoved by waves. Su Fong, come eat. Yun Han called. Su Fong, this sky, will it rain soon? Lu Yuju asked softly. Not yet, still some time. He affirmed, the black clouds still gathering, a heavy rain was bound. He raised a bowl and urged, hurry, finish before the rain, return to the hut. All right. The girls replied, eating and breathing quickly. Over 10 minutes later, 3 pots of fish soup were gone, bowls and pots rinsed in seawater and packed in baskets. Let's go back. Su Fong carried the big basket, also lightened Yun Han's by taking smoked fish out. Really, I can handle it. Yun Han pouted, but inside she was sweet. Hand. Su Fong slung his bow and held out his hand. Let's go. Yun Han naturally gave her hand, happily following. Hand. Lu Yumeng pursed her lips, looking at her sister. Jealous? Lu Yuju glanced, still held her hand. Others have, I must too. Lu Yumeng said innocently. They all followed Su Fong along the stream upstream, silently leaving the shelter and logs. Next time, this place might not remain. After half an hour, the sea wind grew, trees swayed, leaves rubbed with rustling sound. why so noisy? Chen Jishi frowned awake, annoyed. Seeing the scene, he muttered, is it still night, or is the end coming? He Xiong opened his eyes, the sky was dark though the sun should shine. Storm coming? He sat up quickly, wind blowing his hair back. Is this storm more like the end? Chen Jishi rubbed his eyes and stood. We cannot stay, go inland. He Xiong said firmly. Relax, Su Feng and them. Chen Jishi turned, but they were gone. He froze, mouth wide. When did they leave? He Xiong was silent, seeing stones on the raft, even more silent. They really left? Chen Jishi ran to the shelter. Fire was out but embers glowed, showing they had left recently. Scary. Chen Jishi pouted. You not going? He Xiong asked. Going. Chen Jishi replied quickly. He Xiong sneered. Chen Jishi stayed calm, sighed, but before we go, dig more trenches, gather more seaweed, life will be hard. Yes, hurry. He Xiong said, taking a knife to reefs. I will pick seaweed. Chen Jishi did not delay, gathering seaweed and shells washed ashore. Hope the rain comes. Late. He Xiong sighed. Chapter 10:13, Thunderstorm. Crow's mouth, stop talking nonsense, it is best if the rain waits until we reach shelter before pouring. Lu Wai Thursday glared at her sister. Lu Wai Mong slowed her steps, looked up at the gray sky, then quickened her pace, saying, I feel uneasy, the sky seems ready to collapse. It feels more serious than before the storm. Van Han voiced her worry. No Tin Noyet gently said, this is a storm. Yes, a storm. So Fong confirmed. Then let's hurry back, walking outside in a storm is too dangerous. Van Han spoke innocently. Lu Waimong nodded quickly, yes, we are so light, a slightly stronger storm could blow us to the sky. I meant every one of us. Lu Waimong added lively. Do not worry, I will tie a big stone to your waist, the wind cannot blow you away. So Fong teased. Why not say tie it to your back? Lu Waimong pouted. About 2 hours. So Fong judged from the surroundings and their pace after leaving the beach. Good, everyone hold on a little longer, we are almost at the cabin. Lu Wai Thursday encouraged softly. Okay. The girls answered together, almost driven forward by the storm. Drip, drip. Raindrops as big as beans fell, like a broken pearl curtain from heaven, beating trees around, stinging when landing on skin. Rumble. A bolt of lightning tore the sky, thunder boomed right after. Ah! The girls screamed, thunder roared in their ears. So Fong rubbed a girl's ear, gently comforting, do not be afraid, the lightning is still far from us. So scary. Lu Waimong exhaled. The rain is too heavy. No Tin Noyet pulled up her hood, gave her wide hat to Sister Trao, since she wore no jacket. Without reminder, the Nan sisters prepared, hoods covered ears, muffling sound. Ba ba ba. Rain hit wide hats heavily, quickly making them heavy. Got it. The girls replied. So Fong still held the girl's hand, rain fell harder, vision blurred, darkness thick as fog. I really hate rain. Lam Lo grumbled, rain made her body uncomfortable, damp everywhere. I hate it too. Lu Waimong muttered, when it rains, I cannot go out to play. All you know is play. Lu Wai Thursday sighed. One life should enjoy present pleasures, eating and playing is the true way. Lu Waimong said nonsense seriously. You should have been a sales clerk. Lam Lo chuckled. I do not want to, sales is hard, sometimes earnings are small, effort and income often do not match. Lu Waimong waved her hand, clearly knowing that job. So Fong sighed, still better than when he had no job. They pushed through rain, after more than half an hour, the cabin appeared. We made it, finally. Lu Waimong shouted excitedly. Do not run, go slow, the road is slippery. So Fong called, afraid she might fall. Creak. Tia to heavens, why are you soaked? Later I will not let you into the cabin. Van Han scolded but still patted her head. Seems nothing has changed. Lu Waimong looked around, the fawn hid in the shed, the hair's still there, only more fallen leaves, all else normal. Quickly get changed, do not catch cold. So Fong urged. Okay. The girls went to change. In the yard, So Fong fed the fawn and hares, checked the garden, then returned. Creak. Inside, the girls had changed, using cloth to dry the brute's fur. Much better. No Tin Noyet propped the window, letting damp air out. So Fong threw a wet branch outside, then saw the girls busy, sweeping, mopping, cleaning the toilet from the brute's mess. Good thing we cleaned before leaving, or all would be ruined. Van Han sighed. Dry them, they should be fine. Lu Wai Thursday whispered. Yes, put them on the wooden rack. Van Han clapped, set the brute aside, washed her hands with soap. Grapes were spread on a mat on the rack, to dry, later Sun would finish them. Is anyone hungry, should we cook lunch? Van Han took smoked fish from the basket, thanks to palm leaves only the top layer was wet. Cook it, we must be hungry. So Fong said warmly. Okay. Van Han washed fish, lit fire, heated pan to cook. Hoo hoo hoo. Outside wind blew, rain splashed in, wetting the floor. The wind is too strong. No Tin Noyet shut the window, leaving a small gap. Chapter 10:14, The one always hurt is me. Why did the rain fall so suddenly? Tran Chi Hai was drenched, rainwater seeping through his collar. Hei Xiong was also soaked, the two of them huddled under a tree for shelter. Boom! Thunder rumbled, lightning flashed and vanished, leaving afterimages in their eyes. Think of a way, we cannot keep like this. Tran Chi Hai frowned under his hood. There is no way. Hei Xiong replied coldly, remembering the cave before, at least it kept them dry and safe from sickness. Now the storm ruined survival rhythm, their weak bodies suffered even more. How can there be no way? Tran Chi Hai snapped. Do you have one? Hei Xiong retorted. Tran Chi Hai was speechless. We could risk going out, maybe find a cave. Hei Xiong said calmly. Then let us go, better than waiting here. Tran Chi Hai pulled down his hood, covering his wet black hair. Hei Xiong walked ahead along the stream. Ouch! Tran Chi Hai slipped, face down in the mud. Hei Xiong twitched his lips, even walking he could fall. Damn it! Tran Chi Hai cursed, rinsing his muddy face in the stream, rubbing his rough skin against the sand. Hei Xiong kept scanning around, rain stung his face, he suddenly blanked for a moment. Come on, let us go. Hei Xiong regained focus. Always along this stream? Tran Chi Hai asked. For now. Hei Xiong only hoped to find shelter to survive the storm. Elsewhere, the Zhang father and son fared better, building a shelter near the stream. It was an A-shaped hut, just enough for two to sleep. Give me the rope. Zhang Tone shouted. Here. Zhang Jia held a pole with one hand, gave the rope with the other. Strong wind howled, trees barely blocked it, the hut swayed. What is wrong with the sky, sudden wind and rain? Zhang Tone muttered while tying logs. Less talk, work faster. He scolded. We need to add leaves. He saw water seeping inside. He grabbed an axe, chopped shrubs, and piled branches on the roof. Father, put some stones on, wind is stronger, I fear it may blow away. Zhang Jia suggested. All right, do it. Zhang Tone nodded. Zhang Jia sighed, fixed poles, then searched for stones by the stream. Rumble. Water rose quickly, stones were heavy, too heavy to place on the roof. Will the stream flood our shelter? Zhang Jia worried, half a day rain raised the water high. He carried smaller stones back, telling his father. It is fine, it will not flood. Zhang Tone waved, kept chopping. Really safe? Zhang Zhou asked, his father too calm. Of course, do not worry, I have experience with storms. Zhang Tong said, at the manor each year we endured 1 or 2 storms, only stronger wind and rain, nothing else. But this is an island, not mainland. Zhang Zhou frowned. I know, I am not senile. Zhang Tong blared, half a year ago there was also a storm, did we not survive well? I feel this one is more serious. Zhang Zhou said gravely. Not much more serious. Zhang Tong dismissed. In the control room, Ha Min and Wang Lin discussed. This storm cannot be taken lightly. Wang Lin rubbed his chin. Should we bring back Ting Yu and the others? He asked. Ha Min whispered, no need, let us see how the show arranges. Wang Lin pouted. Honestly, without Ting Yu and Vai Din, it feels empty. Ha Min changed topic, when they left it was hard to adjust. Really? I do not. Wang Lin said calmly, life was easier without them. Ha ha ha. Ha Min laughed, recalling Wang Lin's awkward moments before, he understood. I get it. He patted Wang Lin's shoulder, happy for him. You do not. Wang Lin glanced, every time hurt, it is me. Ha Min stifled his laughter, not to offend. Wang Lin's lips twitched, he silently turned back to the screen. Chapter 10-15, Nature's Dishwasher. Rain drummed on the roof, flowing into streams from the eaves, gathering into a brook that ran downstream, and in the end, all water reached the great sea. The sky was gloomy, the sun must have already set, but thick dark clouds covered everything, nothing could be seen. Van Han pushed the window open, watching outside, raindrops and wild winds made the window heavy. How long will this rain last? She muttered and closed it. The wind must be at level 7 or 8. No Tin Noyet worried, the wooden house slightly trembled. It is level 7 now. So Fong said calmly. Already level 7, will the fence be blown down, will the house be in danger? Nantan Nok voiced her fear. Do not worry, the fence has been reinforced, the wooden house is strong, there is no need to worry. So Fong reassured, though in his heart he felt some worry, but compared to the girls, he was calmer. Good then, I do not want to be blown away in the middle of the night. Lu Waimong sighed. Exaggerated. Van Han replied innocently. Hope the storm passes soon. Lin Lo said softly. It is late, I will prepare dinner. Van Han stood up and went to the kitchen. Lu Waimong joined, tonight they had stewed meat, stir-fried wild vegetables, and soup. When they finished, darkness fell, only wind and rain remained. The 9 of them stayed in the wooden house, still lively, but space was cramped, with 3 big beds, a screen, a large table with 9 chairs, wooden racks, toilet, 2 water jars, and many bamboo baskets. Before, the house felt big, now it looks small. Lu Waimong laughed. Sorry. Nantan Nok blushed, at first there were only 4, later she and her sister joined, making it crowded. Nothing to be shy of, I and true sister stayed thick-faced. No Tin Noyet teased, they too came later, joining without a word. We welcome you. Van Han put the soup on the table. Of course welcome. So Fong chuckled, grabbing meat with his hand. Use chopsticks. Van Han blared, handing him chopsticks. With you here it is lively, otherwise time would be boring. Lu Wai Thursday whispered. Everyone sit, eat and talk. Van Han called. The girls washed hands and came back, it was habit now, thanks to the girls' daily reminder. After half an hour, they were full, bowls placed outside for the rain to wash, this was nature's dishwasher. Let us play mahjong, since rain stops other things. Lu Waimong brought the set. Tai Vai Din sighed, another training night wasted. Not playing, my hands are numb. No Tin Noyet pushed the tiles, the young girl had one. Pure flush. So Fong also pushed tiles, smiling. Do you still want to play? No, if I play more, I am a puppy. Lu Waimong groaned. If it were money, she would have lost all. Do not speak too soon. Lu Wai Thursday scolded. If her sister was a puppy, what would she be? Next time I will surely win. So Fong swore, though he wanted to lose, his luck was too good, every tile matched, as if thoughts came true. Nonsense. The girls cried together. All right, go wash up. So Fong smiled awkwardly. Better to bathe. Lu Waimong sniffed herself. Ugly? Lu Wai Thursday raised brows. You are ugly. Lu Waimong glared, then took clothes to go downstairs. Wear the jacket. So Fong reminded. Okay. Lu Waimong put on a dry jacket, carefully went down. Rain beat stronger on her coat than by day. Bathing is troublesome. She muttered, entered the storage, removed hood, lit a torch, heated water. If only we had umbrellas. Lin Lo sighed. Umbrellas can be made, but in level 8 storm, one would fly with it. So Fong said gently. You can make umbrellas? The girls were shocked. Forget it. No Tin Noyet waved. All right, use the toilet and rest early. So Fong smiled. No. The girls refused. Bathing was more comfortable. Over 10 minutes later, when he came out, he saw the girls sleepy, still holding towels, clearly wanting to bathe then sleep. Boom! Thunder roared, making them tremble awake. Chapter 1016, Strange Rainy Season. So Fong lay on the large bed, beside him the girl breathed calmly, and outside the window the rain hammered down. He opened his eyes and looked at the familiar simulation screen where the number 6 glowed. The rain still has not stopped. So Fong murmured, the storm had passed 3 days ago yet the rain continued. Woo woo. He smiled softly, brushed off the urge to get up and decided to lie a little longer, knowing outside was still dim and it was not yet dawn. He fell asleep again and when he woke the others were already up preparing breakfast. Wake up, hurry and wash your face so we can have breakfast. Van Han turned her head and said innocently, today we have kudzu porridge. All right. So Fong replied gently, put on his shoes, stretched, and another day passed in the wooden house. Is this even a day? The rain never ends. No Tin Noyet leaned on the window, the awning kept her from getting wet though the breeze blew. The storm is over but the rain remains, could it be the rainy season? Lam Lo sighed. These days besides washing and stepping out to the balcony they spent most of the time inside playing chess and mahjong. Maybe, the climate on Huin Noyet Island is strange, a rainy season would not surprise me. Lu Wai Thursday said softly. If it is the rainy season, how long will it last? No Tin Noyet looked to So Fong. I do not know, it could be 5 days, 10 days, half a month or even a month. So Fong shrugged. He could read the skies but not forecast the future, at least the heavens had not changed these past 2 days. Lu Wai Thursday patted her sister's shoulder and said sincerely, stay calm, getting through this quietly is fine. But we must go hunting. Lu Waimong said. Not necessary, salted meat and smoked fish will keep, we also have the fawn and rabbits, enough to last until the contest ends. Van Han whispered. I see. Lu Waimong pouted, then her eyes lit and she said seriously, but there are other contestants on the island, what if they also endure until the end, how will the top 3 be decided? NK that, Books. The production team did not mention. No Tin Noyet thought. Yes, they truly did not, perhaps they assumed no one could last that long. Lam Lo guessed. We should be proactive and eliminate the remaining contestants. Lu Waimong clenched her fists. Troublesome, we should have eliminated Tran Chi Hai and Black Bear earlier. Lu Wai Thursday said calmly. Yes, now I regret a little. Nan Tan Nok smiled bitterly. When the boat reaches the bridge it will go straight, there are still more than 50 days, no need to hurry. So Fong said and took some items to the restroom. Beat them until they cannot manage on their own. Nan Tan Nok stayed calm. You are too violent. No Tin Noyet laughed, half joking, next time tie them up and leave them on Huynh Noyet Island, the program will pick them up. Not a bad idea. So Fong emerged from the restroom and nodded. How many contestants remain now? Nan Nu Nok asked innocently. I guess not many. So Fong glanced and, seeing Sister True stare, corrected himself. Lam Lo sighed and glared at So Fong. She did not want the production to notice them. Revealing contest information could be troublesome. Better to be cautious. The stream is about to flood the yard. No Tin Noyet watched the stream rise, taro beds and herbs soaked, only the tips of leaves bobbed along the current. With this rain we must soon line the storage with logs and dry grass. So Fong nodded. The rabbits and the fawn should be moved too. Van Han said. Moving is troublesome, boards under the cages will do. So Fong thought and shook his head. Fine. Van Han replied softly. Everyone be careful, the stairs are slippery in rain. So Fong warned, then went down the stairs steadily. If this truly was the rainy season, the dry wood in the store would be vital and decide whether they could have hot meals. Van Han, take care of the rabbits, I will handle the logs. So Fong said gently. I will help carry the wood. Nan Nu Nok put on her hood and brought the logs. Give me some rope. Van Han said. They all hurried about. The two little girls raised the rabbit cage high, So Fong and the others spread wood, dry grass, and prepared everything. When finished, 3 to 4 watch hours had passed. Outside the rain still fell heavily but was lighter than during the storm, shifting from very heavy rain to heavy rain. It smells foul. Van Han stepped into the rain to scrub her clothes and shoes clean. Rain like this will soon cause flash floods or landslides. Lu Wai Thursday worried. She held her hand out to feel the drops, remembering the last landslide and feeling her heart race. The terrain here is relatively high, there is no danger for now. So Fong said calmly. He was composed because no sense of immediate danger had appeared. Even if landslides came, this place would remain safe. He had considered this when choosing the campsite. Chapter 10:17, It Can Be Eaten. Yes, you were also on the mountain before. Wu Qingyue hid under the wooden house and advised. Su Fong gave a bitter smile, thinking there was no need to explain. Ah, the rain seems smaller. Lu Yiming suddenly said. Rumble. The rain still fell, but to the naked eye it was much lighter. The flash flood is unlikely now. Su Fong breathed out. So good, hope it does not rain heavily again. Yun Han happily said. The girls went back to the cabin, took off their jackets in the bathroom, and hung them at the door to dry. It is still better to wear breathable cloth. Nanqing Yu lifted her long hair, tied it into a high ponytail with hemp rope. Breathable, yes, but it scratches the skin. Wu Qingyue scratched her arm. There is no other way. Yun Han gently said. This is already good, other contestants do not even have cloth clothes. Lin Lu whispered. Yes, it is lucky to have Su Feng. Yun Han sweetly smiled. The cloth and loom were Su Feng's ideas. Cough, I just read many books usually. Su Feng lightly said, silently adding in his heart, anyway you do not have the system hack. Forget it, reading books makes me sleepy. Lu Yiming pouted innocently. That was her obstacle to being a top student. I already saw it. Su Feng laughed. What? Lu Yiming glared. Want to play mahjong? Wu Qingyue rested her chin, eyes on Su Feng. No, we played 3 days already, now seeing mahjong gives me a headache. Lin Lu waved her hand. These 3 days were only mahjong, and the time she won could be counted on one hand, that was the point. Yes, let's not play, find something else. Luizhu softly said. What thing? Everyone looked at her. Luizhu's mouth twitched, she shook her head. I do not know, you choose. What nonsense. Lu Yiming muttered, you do not know and still ask you. Skip mahjong, not chess either, what else? Yun Han counted on her fingers. Idiom domino? You guess? Nan Ruyu whispered. Anything else? Lu Yiming asked. I cannot think. Nan Ruyu embarrassed. All these we played already, want something new? Lu Yiming waved her hand. Then you say, what to play? Lu Yizhu grabbed her sister's ear. Easy, do not use hands. Lu Yiming shrank her neck, quickly pulled her ear from her sister's claw. Good, I never played this. Lu Yiming's eyes lit up, she only saw it on TV shows, never in real life. Good, let's play it. Yun Han smiled and nodded. Everyone knows how to play Who is the Spy? Wu Qingyue asked. Yes, often see on TV. Lu Yimeng nodded. Yes, saw it on TV. The Nan sisters replied. Then good, who will be referee and give topic? Lin Lu was eager, she also never played this game. I will. Books. Su Feng said warmly. Good, then you. The girls did not object. Su Feng smiled, tore a paper into 8 pieces, wrote words with charcoal. His speed was fast, in less than 2 minutes he decided the topic, wrote them, folded, and put on the wooden table. I want this. Yun Han picked one. This is mine. Lu Yiming finally chose after hesitation. Anyway, I do not know, I just take. Wu Qingyue also picked. The Nan sisters also took 2. The last paper went to Ji Whiting, she opened, glanced, folded back without change of face. Ah, interesting topic. Lu Yiming smiled mysteriously. Really interesting. Wu Qingyue also folded hers after reading. All seen. The girls answered. Su Feng smiled, then good, start from left to right. The first is me. Yun Han recalled, hesitated, then softly said, it is 2 words. Ah, only that? Lu Yimeng froze, she was the second. Yes, your turn, Mang. Yun Han laughed. This is dangerous. Lu Yimeng seriously said. Fine. Lu Yimeng reluctantly described, it can fly. Instantly everyone looked at her, she felt uneasy. What? Lu Yimeng stuttered. Su Feng smiled, was this game a black hole? Nothing, continue. He clapped. It can be eaten. Nan Ruyu pursed lips, she was third. Can be eaten? Really? Lu Yiming frowned, secretly marked her as spy. My turn. Wu Qingyue said. Seriously, it is yellow. Yellow, must be teammate. Lu Yimeng sighed. Next was Nan Qingyu, she described, we all saw. You all said too vague. Nan Qingyu bitterly laughed, looked at Lu Yimeng, thoughts in her mind. Next. Su Feng reminded. It relates to a hexagon. Lu Yizhu softly said. Chapter 10:18, I once had. Is there a problem? Lu Wai Thursday asked softly. Continue. So Feng smiled. Useful. Tei Vai Din commented calmly. A bit sticky? Lam Lo probed while watching the others' faces. Good, the first voting round begins. I will count 1, 2, 3, then point to who you think is the mole. So Feng clapped, pulling attention. Okay. They answered together. Lu Waimong was full of expectation, rubbing her hands, ready to choose. 3, 2, 1, point. So Feng smiled and counted down. Swoosh. Quickly the 8 made their choices, then someone widened their eyes. Ah. Lu Waimong stared at 7 fingers pointing at her, why not Nan Nu Nok? She had pointed at Nan Nu Nok, but all pointed at her. Why all point at me? Lu Waimong pouted, stomping her foot. Because your description was too strange. Van Han replied innocently. Right. Nan Nu Nok nodded repeatedly. You must be the mole, no mistake. Lam Lo insisted. Luai Thursday said coolly, I also feel so. No, flying is correct, right? Lu Waimong tried to defend herself, embarrassed to be eliminated so soon. Of course not. No Tin Noyet smiled, guessing her topic. Ah, really Ni? Lu Waimong was stunned. I knew it. Lu Wai Thursday glanced at her sister. No, was your topic not honeybee? Lu Waimong asked. Of course not, we were honey. Van Han showed her slip with the words honey. Yes, honey does not fly. Lu Wai Thursday said calmly. But sisters said related to hexagon, so it could be. Lu Waimong frowned. Yes, the comb cells are hexagons, inside is honey, so she was suspicious, but you were obvious. Lam Lo explained. Fine. Lu Waimong sulked, blaming bad luck. So Fong, give the next topic. Van Han smiled, liking the game. Yes, continue. Nan Nu Nok was cheerful. I want this one. Van Han picked a paper, opened it, froze, then glanced at So Fong. This topic is interesting. No Tin Noyet smiled, also looked at him. Very interesting. Lam Lo agreed. She opened her mouth, looked at So Fong, then stopped. Really, shameless. Van Han whispered. So Fong touched his nose. Van Han looked around, then said, related to people. 2 words. Lu Waimong giggled, glaring at her. Wet. Nan Nu Nok blushed, head down. Not me. No Tin Noyet protested. Ah, not? Lu Waimong was surprised. Of course not. No Tin Noyet laughed. Nan Ton Nok wondered, addictive? Lu Wai Thursday frowned, I once had. Tai Vai Din said, I saw others, I did not. Related to women. Lam Lo guessed. Good, I count 1 2 3, then point to the most suspicious, the one with most votes eliminated, if not mole continue. So Fong spoke softly. 1 2 3, go. They made choices. Sorry, I did not know who to choose, I wronged you. No Tin Noyet stuck her tongue. Lam Lo laughed, same reason. What reason is that? Lu Waimong fumed, all chose her. I feel Sister Mong is possible. Van Han said brightly. Me too. Nan Nu Nok nodded. How could you do this? NK Books. Lu Waimong complained. Ha ha ha. So Fong laughed loudly. Stop laughing, announce result. Lu Waimong grumbled. Cough, not laughing. So Fong tried to stop, but his smile remained. He announced, Lu Waimong eliminated, game continues. See, killed teammate wrongly. Lu Waimong muttered, still upset. Okay, you be referee. So Fong pulled her out. No, I still want to play, referee is boring. Lu Waimong shook her head. Alright, continue. So Fong laughed. I once had. Van Han said, blushing. Van Han once had? The girls were shocked. Really? Lu Waimong looked at So Fong. No whispering. So Fong clapped, changing subject. Nan Nu Nok muttered, saw on TV. No Tin Noyet nodded, then said, related to mouth. Yes, related to mouth. Nan Ton Nok nodded, then added, pouting makes it better. Chapter 1019, of course not a restriction level. Sister, it is your turn. Lu Waimong pressed her lips and reminded. I know. Lu Wai Thursday whispered, maybe we need to use money. Tai Vai Din frowned slightly, tilted his head at her and said calmly, better rinse your mouth first. Lam Lo's beautiful eyes lit up, she teased, you all seem very experienced. I believe you. Lam Lo nodded seriously. Back to the game, it is your turn. So Fong gently reminded. Ah, this is something you can encounter but cannot seek. Lam Lo nodded softly. Encounter but cannot seek? Still need to rinse mouth? Nantan Nak's eyes gleamed, her heart stirred with thoughts. Alright, same rules, I count 1, 2, 3 and you all point to the most suspicious one. So Fong clapped, gathering everyone's attention. Okay. They glanced at each other, each with their own aim. 1, 2, 3, point. So Fong clapped loudly. Swish. Everyone decided at once, this time the choices spread out. Te Vai Din and No Tin Noyet pointed at each other, Lam Lo pointed at Nan Nu Nok, and Nan Nu Nok pointed at Te Vai Din. Ah, it looks chaotic. Lu Wai Mong laughed with schadenfreude. Not chaotic, only Tan Nok and Te Vai Din have 2 votes, so one must be eliminated. So Fong smiled. True. Lu Wai Mong nodded. For some reason, I feel you are suspicious. Lu Wai Thursday whispered. Yes, that pout is strange. Van Han agreed. What is strange, pouting is common. Nan Tan Nok defended herself. I won't change, it is you. Lu Wai Thursday insisted. I also won't change. Van Han said softly. Te Vai Din opened her mouth, unable to defend. Then I choose Tan Nok. Lam Lo decided. I also choose sister. Nan Nu Nok bowed her head. Nan Tan Nok laughed bitterly, scolding, Nu Nok, I won't eat you, why so scared? Nan Nu Nok shyly said, I did not mean that. I also choose Tan Nok. No Tin Noyet laughed, even if she threw to Te Vai Din it was useless, since Tan Nok must lose, one more vote was nothing. All choose me. Nan Tan Nok smiled bitterly. Fine, Tan Nok is out, give me the paper. So Fong took it. He opened, took a deep breath, and declared, the game is over, the mole is found. Ah, Tan Nok really is the mole? Lu Wai Mong was surprised. Yes. So Fong turned the paper, lipstick words written. So the mole is lipstick. Everyone understood, so that was why the mouth had to pout. What are you doing? Nan Tan Nok asked curiously, she already guessed she was the mole. We. They looked at each other, hard to speak. Cough cough, they kissed. So Fong coughed. Nan Tan Nok froze, her face strange, finally understood why rinse was needed. She suddenly asked, who said money was needed? Lu Wai Thursday blushed, raised her hand, me. Why must a kiss use money? Nan Tan Nok was confused. So Fong also felt strange, he understood the meaning. For a man without a girlfriend, to kiss means spending money. Lu Wai Thursday glared, as if to say you understand. Nan Tan Nok still confused. Can anyone explain? She sighed. Sister, it is simple, using money means going to girls. Nan Nu Nok said innocently. No so much. Lu Wai Mong mocked. No. Nan Nu Nok bowed again. So it is like that. Nan Tan Nok smiled bitterly, never thought such answer. It is just that simple. Lu Wai Thursday smiled. Stop discussing, continue playing. Lu Wai Mong shouted. Not afraid you are thrown out again in round 1? No Tin Noyet teased. Don't, please don't. Lu Wai Mong begged, I am not weak, think carefully before throwing. I thought you were bees, who knew honey? Lu Wai Mong explained. Do you even know how to play the mole game? No Tin Noyet asked. Of course I know. Lu Wai Mong said firmly. Okay, play again then. No Tin Noyet's eyes suspicious. Give me all the papers. So Fong waved. Here. They handed papers. More than 10 minutes later, Lu Wai Mong stood by So Fong again, dumbfounded. Why was I eliminated again? She muttered. I get it, You are the black hole of the game, the mole black hole. No Tin Noyet sighed, game ended too fast. What black
NK
hole,
books.
Just bad luck. Lu Waimong stomped, face full of grievance. Forget it, this game is not for you. Lu Wai Thursday said. Try once more. Lu Waimong hoped. More than 10 minutes later, she again was eliminated, face gloomy. Others looked silently. Lu Waimong thought and said innocently, I will be referee, so Fong you play. Ha ha ha. So Fong laughed, nodding. Outside rain still fell, inside wooden house laughter continued until night fell. Chapter 10:20, The Little Mushroom Girl. With this situation, perhaps tomorrow the rain will stop. Van Han stood on tiptoe, stretching her hand out the window to feel the raindrops. Not necessarily, if it is truly the rainy season, even small showers will last for days. So Fong was checking microblog while stir-frying wild vegetables. Tonight he was the cook. Anyway, it is still better than a heavy downpour. No Tin Noyet propped her chin with one hand, staring at So Fong in the kitchen. Hey, blink a little. Lam Lo waved a hand before her face. When it rains, can we go pick mushrooms? Lu Waimong suddenly asked. Yes, just wear a jacket. Lu Waimong innocently said, we already finished all the mushrooms, right? We will see tomorrow, if the rain is not strong then we will go out. So Fong replied after thinking. Ah, heavens bless us, please do not let it pour tomorrow. Lu Waimong rushed to the window and called to the sky. Do not disturb others in the middle of the night. Lu Wai Thursday laughed and scolded. Lu Waimong turned back, of course not, here we only have us. Even better, send them far away. Lu Waimong said seriously. I think that makes sense. Nan Nu Nok quietly agreed. I wonder if they have been eliminated, the news exaggerated, it must be dangerous. Van Han said gently. Elimination is better, less effort. Lu Waimong clapped. We left when they were still asleep. Nan Nu Nok widened her eyes and whispered, could they have been swept away by waves? If so, it means they were reckless. Lam Lo pouted, that storm had huge waves, followed by rain, unless they had fainted. They are competitors. Te Vai Din said coldly. But still two living beings. Van Han said softly. So kind you are. No Tin Noyet stood, held the girl's shoulders and gently squeezed her soft face. Early next morning, the island was still dark and gloomy, clouds thick, drizzle falling. It was day yet no sun was visible. Creak! The wooden window opened, Lu Waimong poked her head out, watching the rain with laughter. Great, just a drizzle. She turned back smiling. Why so happy? No Tin Noyet yawned and stretched. Of course, today I want to go out. Lu Waimong was excited. Then hurry and wash your face. Lu Wai Thursday also got up, still sleepy. As you command. Lu Waimong grabbed her washing things, put on a wide hat and went downstairs. Do you really want to go today? Van Han handed a towel to So Fong. I will not, it is too damp outside. Van Han obediently shook her head. Yes, go wash now. Van Han pushed So Fong down. So Fong, the small spring. Lu Waimong pointed, the rain had flooded the yard. Yes, floods or landslides are not a concern. So Fong nodded, bending to wash. Aha! Lu Waimong puffed her cheeks, holding the brush and nodding. Half an hour later, they sat at the table eating breakfast. Who wants to go out with me? So Fong asked. I will not, fighting in rain is troublesome, I dislike mud. No Tin Noyet shook her head. I will. Lam Lo agreed, eyes shining. Me too. Nan Tan Nok raised her hand. I will not, I hate dampness. Lu Wai Thursday slowly shook her head. Same, I will not. Tai Vi Din said softly. Good, then let us return before dark. So Fong nodded. This time 4 of them set out, neither too many nor too few. After about 15 minutes, they left. Come back soon. Van Han waved. Got it. So Fong waved and turned into the forest. Really, raining yet they still go. Van Han stomped. It is fine, with So Fong nothing will happen. No Tin Noyet pinched her cheek, smiling. Shall we bake cakes? Yes. Van Han's eyes lit up, she swallowed and went inside. In the forest, So Fong led, Lam Lo and Lu Waimong followed, Nan Tan Nok 1 step behind. Splash splash. Each step sent water flying, mud splashing on leaves. Little mushroom girl, carrying a big bamboo basket, barefoot in the morning wandering through forest and hills. Lu Waimong sang happily. Truly fitting, but your singing still needs work. Lam Lo teased. Nonsense, my singing is fine. Lu Waimong pouted. I found mushrooms. Nan Tan Nok said suddenly. Where? Lu Waimong focused. There, on the tree. Nan Tan Nok pointed to a big tree, mushrooms growing, roots deep orange turning to pale yellow. So beautiful, could it be poisonous? Lu Waimong leaned closer, recalling So Fong's words about bright mushrooms being dangerous. She insisted, surely poisonous. Looks harmless. Nan Tan Nok murmured. Let me check. So Fong returned. 2 bright colors, as you said, likely poisonous. Lu Waimong smiled, expecting praise.